welcome to the 2025 Auction of Washington Wines. Woo!
I'm the Executive Director of the Auction of Washington Wines. I'm so excited to be here tonight. This is a very special evening.
I'll bet it is. Tell me a little bit about the auction.
Well, the auction is 3 days of events, but tonight it is the Toast event, which is an honoree celebration. It's an event that I started 4 years ago to recognize luminaries in the industry and also emerging leaders in the Washington wine industry. So it's a very special event, and it really means a lot to recognize people. There's so many people to recognize in the Washington wine industry that this is a nice way for the auction to be able to do that.
Now, this is going to be my foolish question of the evening, but are you a winemaker?
I am not a winemaker. I'm a business person, and so I've been running the Auction of Washington Wines for the past 7 years. In the last 7 years, we've raised $23 million, so we've done pretty good for charity.
What made you decide to go about this particular endeavor?
About the Toast event or the auction?
About the auction in general.
Well, you know, I had been in the wine industry for more than 30 years. I started out at the Washington Wine Commission way back in the day when there were only 80 wineries in the whole state, so it was a very different world back then. We started Taste Washington back then and really started to take winemakers on the road, and I was there for 10 years. And then I had my own business for 15 years as a consultant, as an event planner in the wine industry, so I've always promoted the Washington wine industry. And actually someone came to me when this job was available. They were looking for someone who could step in without much training and take over. And so that was 7 years ago. I planned to be there for 1 year, and 7 years later, I'm still here.
It's kind of how things like that work. But really, you've touched just about every corner of the wine industry that you could touch.
I have, actually, and it's been a lovely journey. I've met so many people, and it's such a collaborative industry. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Now, this will be my second dumb question of the night, but have you ever given thought to actually being a specific winemaker or something like that?
You know, I have not thought about being a winemaker. I thought about owning a wine brand, but I haven't thought about being a winemaker. And right now, with the industry is going through a lot of changes, so I feel like maybe right now is not the time to step into that, but you never know. And actually, I actually enjoy doing what you're doing, is talking to people and learning their stories. I'm really more on that side of things than I am on crafting wine.
That's one of the best parts, is hearing everybody's stories.
Yes.
So for our listeners who'd like to learn about you online and the auction itself, how would they do that?
Our website is auctionofwawines.org, and there's lots of information there that talks about what our beneficiaries are, who we're raising money for. We do raise money for both the community and the industry, so WSU, Viticulture, and Enology, we raise money for that, and also for Seattle Children's Hospital. We do events throughout the year, but our biggest weekend is in August, which is we're in right now, starting with the Toast event tonight. Tomorrow is the Winemakers Picnic. There'll be 100 winemakers there, and then Saturday is our big, more formal GALA event where we have all kinds of live auction lots, and it's really a nice way to finish out the year.
I can kind of tell you like what you do.
I do, and I love so much of it. I'm actually departing the auction here shortly, and there's a new executive director coming on at the end of August, so I'm excited to pass the baton to someone who I really think is going to be able to take the auction to the next level.
Excellent. Well, I wish you good luck in your future endeavors, and most importantly, it was a real pleasure to meet you this evening. Looking forward to the night.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Great, thank you.
Katie Maltais. I'm the incoming executive director of the Auction of Washington Wines. So I've been in the job since June 1st, and Jamie Peha will officially retire after the event tomorrow.
What do you see for the future? Any immediate thoughts?
You know, the auction is in a really good place. The Washington wine industry is at an inflection point, just like every other wine industry right now. But I'm really excited about exploring what bold new ways we can come to bring people into Washington wines. And so, you know, we'll be holding on to what's working and also experimenting with some new ideas over the next year, doing some big strategic planning that brings a lot of people into the tent.
For our listeners, what is the website?
It is auctionofwawines.org.
Thanks, Katie, for taking the time.
Thanks, Ray.
Kelsey, Albro, Itämeri-Itä wines.
Well, this looks like this is going to be a pretty exciting night. Tell me about what's going on.
Yeah, so we're here at the Toast Awards for the Auction of Washington Wines, which supports the Enology and Viticulture program at Wazoo, Washington State University, as well as Seattle Children's Hospital here in Seattle.
You're getting an award tonight. You're going to be the Emerging Leader honoree. That's got to be a little heavy on your shoulders.
It is. It definitely makes me feel like, okay, well, you better emerge and you better lead now, better do some stuff. But I think it's such a wonderful industry to be a part of. I'm so grateful to have so many mentors that have helped me along my way, and I really look forward to being able to help more people who are starting out in the industry or who are part of the industry in a different way than I am.
How many years have you been a vintner?
So I started my winery in 2019, so we're coming up on 6 years, but I've worked in wine production since 2016. My winery is in the Walla Walla Valley in Walla Walla, Washington, so 4.5 hours from Seattle, and I focus entirely on the foothills of the Blue Mountains east of Walla Walla itself, so higher elevation, cooler sites that produce really beautiful, crisp, a little more refined and elegant wines, and that's where the name comes from. Itä means east in Finnish, and all my grapes come from the eastern side of the Walla Walla Valley.
Why is wine important?
Oh gosh, wine is important because it's part of life. You think about the special moments that you share. For a lot of people, there's wine on the table when they're with their families, when they're celebrating good things and commemorating bad things. It's a part of life's moments, and it's so wonderful to be able to make something that gets to be part of people's lives.
Kelsey, most importantly for our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what is your website?
Sure. My website is www.itawinery.com, itawinery.com.
Excellent. This was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you. Love your smile.
As well. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm here with Sidney Rice. And Sidney, you are the
proprietor, co-founder of Dossier Wine Collective.
How long have you been a winemaker?
We will be coming up on 3 years in October, so brand new.
Congratulations. That's very cool. What made you decide to get into the wine business?
Drinking a lot.
That's a good answer.
Drinking a lot. So COVID hit, wanted to drink something other than hard alcohol. Started drinking more wine. Posted it on social media late in the evening, the wine I was drinking in. And started getting a bunch of messages from people around the country. Didn't know I was into wine, so they started sending me free wine and started tasting all of these wines. And about 150 bottles in, started buying books, reading about it, learning about it, and became very intrigued with the winemaking process and everything that comes along with it. And my current wine partner and co-founder of Dossier Wine reached out to me, and it's like giving me a lot of mouth about Washington wines and drinking more Washington wines. And we became COVID families, hanging out at my place and his place, drinking more wines. And I mean, I mentioned wanting to do a wine project at one point, and he just like started hounding me from then on. He grew up in Yakima, went to school in Walla Walla. A bunch of his wine friends that are in the industry currently said, man, we should do this. We got really good palates. We love wine. We're into it. So about 5 more times hanging out, 100 more bottles in, we decided to start a winery.
For our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what is your website?
DossierWine.com.
That was pretty easy. Sidney, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. Have a good time tonight, and congratulations on your honor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
John Patterson, Patterson Cellars.
John, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Incredible day today. A little bit of light rain, but people seem to be having a pretty good time.
I know it's a good turnout. Better than I thought it was going to be with the weather.
What kind of wines are you making?
I do anywhere from sparkling, rosés, reds, all the way to dessert wines. I have a late harvest Roussanne, and I have a ruby style port made with with traditional Portuguese grapes. Touriga, Suzão, and Tinta Cao.
And these are grapes you're growing?
They're grown in Washington. We have a 10-acre vineyard that is our grapes, but we have no Portuguese varietals.
And for our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what is your website?
Patterson-Cellars.com.
I understand you have 5 tastings, is that right?
That is correct. We have 1 in Leavenworth, 2 in Woodinville, Seattle, and Walla Walla with our state vineyard.
How do you keep your head screwed on?
I have a good team.
How many cases do you make, just to give me an idea?
We're at 19.7. So 19,700 cases.
Pretty good size.
Yeah.
John, thanks very much. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, pleasure. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
I'm here with Lacey and Charlie Liebecker of Cardis Winery. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
At Cardis, our point of view, we really love French wines. And so we strive to have an earthy, spicy, savory characteristic in each of the wines that we make. And we have the best vineyards in Washington State to be able to highlight those characteristics.
Lacey, you were telling me about the name. Could you explain that name of the winery again?
Yeah, Cardis is an Irish Gaelic word for friendship or goodwill, and we thought it was a nice little nod to like family friendly, without being our last name, but it just exudes what we're all about, friendship and gathering with friends.
You have a tasting room?
We do. So the winery and our tasting room are in Lake Chelan, Washington, but we have a secondary tasting room in Seattle at Soto Urban Works. And then we also have a sister brand that we make called Diffraction, and that one is mostly in distribution, but we do have an ice cream / video game arcade that highlights that wine in downtown Manson.
Where do you find the time?
No idea.
We don't, but we make it work, and we do it all with joy.
Most importantly for our listeners, how would they learn about you online? What's your website?
CardisWinery.com, CAIRDEAS winery.com. You can find us on the Instagram, Facebook as well, same handle.
Lacey, Charlie, thank you very much for taking the time. Good luck at the auction.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
welcome. Cheers.
I'm here with Javier Alfonso, and you are the proprietor at Sparkman Cellars, right?
Proprietor, chief janitor, yeah, that's me.
Pretty much everything, right?
Everything, yeah.
Cool.
Viticultures as well. Yeah.
So tell me about what you're pouring here.
So we have our Cabernet Franc. A Cabernet Franc from our state vineyard. We're kind of unique in Washington. We only have one vineyard, and we only work for that vineyard, with that vineyard and the fruit from that vineyard. It's an old vineyard planted in the 80s that we bought about 6-7 years ago. And it's very unique because it's high up in altitude. It's got old vines, and now it's also farmed organically, which is also kind of rare in Washington. It should be easy to do in Washington, but not a lot of people are doing it. So we're doing it, and it's the vines show a level of intensity that you don't see anywhere else, and because of the site and because of the way they're being farmed. I'm from Spain. I'm from Ribera del Duero. I came here for college, and I was blown away. And I'm a Euro snob, okay? I barely acknowledge the French make wine. And I'm a Euro snob, and I was blown away by Washington State. The quality of the fruit, the intensity on the fruit, and just blown away. So that's why we started here.
Do you have a tasting room?
We do. Our winery is in Woodinville, just here, where you are standing right now. The vineyard is in eastern Washington because Woodinville is kind of damp for vineyards. And we do that a lot in Washington, where the winery is on this side of the mountains and the west side of the mountains, and the vineyards are in the east side of the mountains.
Excellent. And for our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what's your website?
PoMboomCellars.com. Pretty straightforward. PoMboomCellars.com.
Javier, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
I'm here with Alex Stewart, and he is pouring for Tenor Wines. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Ray?
It's a little bit of mania today. What do you think? But it's not raining.
That's true. I've been doing this for about 20 years, and this is the first time it's ever rained.
Really?
First time it's ever rained in Western Washington. Pouring a 2022 Pinot Noir from Columbia Valley, about 75% from Connor Lee Vineyard and 25% from Salaxon Vineyard in the Royal Slope AVA.
For our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what is your website?
It's tenorwines.com, TENORWINES.com.
It's good to know it's OR. Alex, nice meeting you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is a pleasure. This is super exciting, and this is awesome.
There's always room.
I'm here with Chris Peterson of Avenia Wines, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I'm happy I got that right. So tell me about what you're pouring today.
Today we're pouring our estate vineyard Cabernet Franc from Red Mountain. It's a vineyard we purchased about 4 years ago.
What does the name mean? Where did that come from?
Avenia is taken from the Latin name for the city of Avignon. So in the southern Rhone, kind of that that artisanal kind of French, Southern French wines that I first enjoyed when I was learning about wine.
Do you have a tasting room?
We have 3 tasting rooms. We have a tasting room in Woodinville. We have a tasting room on our estate vineyard in Red Mountain, and we have a tasting room in Walla Walla.
And for our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what's your website?
Avenia.com or liminalwines.com. Also for another project we're doing that is a single vineyard focus. Really exciting wines too, yeah. Liminal.
Cool. Chris, it was a real pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Good to meet you.
My name is Jürgen Grebe. The name of the winery is Chateau Cellars, the sparkling wine house.
And only sparkling wine, right?
That's correct. That's all we make is sparkling wine. We specialize in sparkling wine. We actually have a Riesling, then we have a Blanc de Blanc, we have a Rosé, we actually have a Syrah, we actually make Gruner, so we make sparkling out of, like in other countries, like the Gruner is made in Austria, and the Syrah is from Australia, so we try to make from those varieties sparkling wines from other part of the world just to show what we can do in Washington State. Too.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah, thank you.
So for our listeners who'd like to learn about you, what's your website?
www.traverscellars.com.
All right, thanks very much. It's a real pleasure meeting you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Carrie Shields. I'm with Cote Bonneville and DeBrule Vineyard. We're an estate winery in the Yakima Valley.
Tell me about your winery.
So my parents planted DeBrule Vineyard in the early 90s. It was one of the first vineyards in Washington to get vineyard designated and recognized as a really great, unique, special site. So my mom actually founded our winery, Cote Bonneville, in 2001. The goal was to express a sense of place with classic, traditionally styled wines that were kind of intended to be the benchmarky wines in Washington. And so we've branched out. We make all different styles, all different varieties now, but we're 100% estate, and we still have that iconic vineyard to base all of our fruit from, which is really cool.
What is your website?
Our website is cotebonneville.com, and you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Cote Bonneville.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I'm here with Ashley Trout of Brook & Bull and Vital. How are you, Ashley?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's good to finally meet you.
You too.
This is a fun event. Pretty crazy. All we're doing is yelling at each other.
That's right.
Tell me what you're pouring.
I'm pouring the Gruner Veltliner for Vital Wines.
Now, you said your tasting room is going to be closed for a little while, but you're going to do pop-ups, right?
For Brook & Bull, that's correct. We're going to go around the country for 18 months.
That's fun. You're going on the road. It's rock and roll.
Rocking and rolling.
And for our listeners who want to learn about you online, what's your website?
For Brook & Bull, it's brookandbull.com, and for Vital, it's vitalwines.org.
I'm really happy to have met up with you today. Thanks. And for our listeners, again, it was 2020 when we last interviewed you. Thanks for taking the time.